Deepak, I really enjoyed your talk. I don't need to praise you anymore. I think I have problems with three things, and you can ignore my comments because you follow your own ideas. You should not follow mine. My problem is with three things, starting with the idea of fine as punishment and the idea of morality. As far as I'm concerned, the way, the kind of discourse we have on morality, if you look at the history of morality, morality as a question started with the gender division of labor, gender division of space, and privatization of land. Okay, and human society were living a moral society, without all this. So the kind of morality pursued by the government and the society, led by religions and traditional cultures, it's actually dangerous for modern students like you and me. So you need to define the idea of morality. I define the idea of morality as commitment to yourself, commitment to your family, friends, states, and society.
Yes.
Okay? If that is the morality, I'm fine with it.
Yes, that is.
Morality which has nothing to do with religion and culture.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
number one. Number two, I'm opposed to the idea of punishment and evaluation in education. I'll tell you why. Punishment is really doesn't correct. It doesn't have any creative meaning. It's hedonistic. So we should really have a modern educational system based on science, secularism, without any punishment.
Yeah.
You learn by making new mistakes. I
Yes.
continue to learn from my mistakes and make new mistakes still today. Okay.
Yes.
So no one should be punished for their mistakes in education system. That's number two. Number three, this concept of fine. We should get away from fine completely. Because why should you fine a student for anything? These are the three things I find problematic. I think you are competent enough to address them in your house. Thank you.
The first opinion you put forward, suggestion, that's exactly how it is. That's exactly how I'm defining morality. And for the second thing, that is punishment, in case of punishments. Like when Roberto Neveles invented homeworks, he intended as a punishment to students. But now that punishment is very regular. And it's harmful. Like if I have a test tomorrow, I may also have some assignments and homework. Now I have to do the homework. It's an incredible punishment. As far as I understand, punishments are not good inside curriculums, like inside teaching. It is very bad.
Actually, punishment produces crime.
Yeah, you can say that as well. But in case of the fines, it's a bit different. It's to teach them how it works in society. In case of, or you do a wrong thing, then you get fined in real life. So it's to give them just an experience of that, so they understand why they have been fined, and that's it. That's the thing behind the fines. They're not fined for anything else. Like that's the reason. It's not as a regular punishment.
Thank you. Maya.
Yeah, it's like, wonderful presentation, Arun. But from the social science perspective, I would want to add something, a comment. It's like it's also based upon the discussion happened between the discussant and you. It's like we can make another system or structure as an alternative for the existing system or structure. But the thing is that all systems, when you are stipulating like this and that with columns and marking everything, and also like we have timetables, everything. The structural issue is that when we fix a particular system or with a structure, there is always problem. There will be always problem.
Yeah.
Not everyone would fit into that. So that only thing is that, according to me, I would say whatever may be the system, education system, religious system, caste system, family system, whatever. So individuals have to decide and come
Yes.
with their own solutions and ways of doing it,
Yeah.
like randomly going here and there or attending or doing anything, but we cannot get away with the structure or system. Of course, you can break the structure and system, and there are alternative models of education. People are trying, like schools with no such particular, don't let our children go to these particular schools. We will have another kind of a school. That kind of alternative methods are also being attempted. But still, those children cannot survive in our systematic society. So that also will be a problem.
Yeah.
So this has been debated. So what we have to keep in mind is that we are critical about it. We are making these critical points
Yeah.
instead of making another system
Yeah.
to counter the other system. That's what I wanted to add.
Right. In case
I-
the children studying always will have a say in it. They will always have a personal experience. You have seen a thing called hobby subject in a certain class.
Yeah.
That is entirely decided by the student. We have made a gap. We'll make a gap in the curriculum so that they will feel they're letting themselves free and relax themselves. There's also some other subjects as well which are not made it to the presentation because I haven't yet finalized on the design.
Yeah.
There are guest subjects where you can, if the teacher is absent, you can, be at another lecture. There's an option for that as well.
Yeah.
But these things are still under development. These are the developmental things of the system. They are still very under
I hope
development.
you understand. The point is that if we go through various social science theories and we go, the thing is that making a system itself is a problem.
Yeah, very maybe.
Fixing a structure itself. Maybe we can add up our hobbies and these other whatever interested things into it. But it's a problem. But it's true that for beginning with anything, we need to conceive some kind of structure and system.
Yes.
And we can go step by step, but there is a level where we break it and we don't need any system or structure to live the life or do anything. But within this society, we may need to cope up with something. That's it.
Right.
That's
We have
all.
another question.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Arun,
Just one.
you are the inspiring for the not only your age group student, but for your elders also. Do you
not taking
think that
time.
this
Yeah.
model of education and schooling is practical for all of the country, for all of the school in these circumstances where the school students are sitting on the ground and they have even not a single pice to come to the school, they are harvesting or in a position that model can be introduced or not.
So, sir,
Yeah.
there is a support system embedded in the. There is a support system embedded in my education system. As far as I understand, your question is regarding the poor children. What will they do, right? It's right. Okay. So there is a support system that is still under development. I have been developing it since March 2022, and the thing is, it is existing to give them a place to stay, give them, the necessary technology to give them the support to educate themselves, to participate in the education system. There is that existing as well, but it is still very much under development. And for the implementation of this system in rural areas, there's a lot of things that can be changed. It's a lot flexible. Like the self-assessment system, its form can be shifted from laptops and tablets to paper. It's very much a flexible system. I designed it that way so that children living in an industrious area, children living in a very rural area, hilltops, and very remote areas, they get to enjoy the education system and be part in it, as well as the rich ones. So that's how it is. It's very flexible, and some parts are still under development for it.
Yes, what about
Okay.
you?
Mine is not that type of things. I want to uh, some elaboration on human values. What you have given there,
Depends on the society.
just to elaborate
Yeah.
the human values.
Yeah.
Okay.
The human values. In case of human values, I don't know if there's much to elaborate in terms of values. Like, as a nation, we have to have our own values as listed in the constitution. We have our own duties to fulfill. Just like that, we have a duty to fulfill to our nation. We have duties. People always will talk about rights. They will never talk about the duties. They will always say that they want from society a lot of things, but they will not work for the society. Let's say,
Right.
in foreign nations, if you had a drink, there's a water bottle in hand or a carton, a drink carton. They will find a disposal gun and they will put it there. But what happens in here? We just throw it around. People are throwing it out of their cars. They're throwing it everywhere, and they're ruining the environment.
Absolutely.
And there's no train of thought existing. So, and in terms of family engagements, there's a lack of values there. They're not valuing the family anymore. They're like glued to their screens, their phones, laptops. That's not good either. You're moving more into the virtual world than the tendency, the real world. These are all problems. And having proper values, I think, can solve it. That's the kind of definition I can give you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And clapping for Arun.
Please applaud.
I believe nobody from behind is interested in any question, so we will conclude this session.